Hey everybody, I'm Crina and Mustafa alongside Sarah Pereira. We have a very special quick picks edition of Game Set Bet today. We'll start on the women's side because Miss Leylah Fernandez did end up pulling through today against Belinda Bencic. She faces Amanda Anisimova yet. She's not favored. Anisimova is favored at minus 215. If you want to take the Leylah odds at plus 176. Sarah, how are we feeling?
Yeah, you know what? I know we said that against Bencic, Leylah wouldn't go through, but we're now talking about a completely different weapon in Anisimova. She's one of the favorites of the tournament after Iga. So, I really think that this might be a little too far of a reach. We're gonna cheer for her, and obviously, like anything can happen. We've seen it today, but I'm pretty sure about this one.
Yeah, hey, maybe we could take the plus bet on Leylah for this one. If she took out Bencic, then maybe she could take out Anisimova. And next we have Iga Swiatek versus Danka Kovinovic. The odds here are pretty funny because Swiatek is favored at minus 7,000. Who are you comfortable with
Yeah,
taking
I think
here?
that minus 7,000 to plus 200 is just, plus 2,000, pardon me. So the odds speak for, whatever this match is going to be. Iga's been unstoppable, and we've been saying it. It's been her tournament, so Iga is the answer.
Pretty much. And then last on the women's side, we have Paula Badosa facing Veronika Kudermetova. This one, although Badosa is favored at minus 330 and Kudermetova is at plus 260, I feel like it's going to be a lot closer than the odds might say. Badosa did just survive a three-setter against Yvonne. That was a good test. Kudermetova is coming off a 2-set win in her second round. She did have a three-setter in the first round, so I feel like this one's going to be a little bit closer.
This one's definitely the trickiest bet we're giving you out of the WTA. I honestly think I would stay away from it completely because I'm with you. I'm not quite sure who's going to go through here.
Yeah, I think I would bet on it to go 3 sets for sure.
Yeah, that if you want to bet, there you go. Switching over to the ATP, though, the biggest news coming out of today is that Felix Auger-Aliassime beat Krajinovic in 3 straight sets. It's honestly really exciting. We weren't sure what was going to happen with him. How are you feeling about Felix right now?
I feel like when we were getting ahead of ourselves yesterday, at least we're kind of justified in it now. He was able to pass this round, and so he faces Rafa next. We don't have the odds for it yet, but he's going to be playing on Sunday, and I know that's a match I'm going to have circled on my calendar for sure.
100%. I will see that match Sunday as well. But let's get into tomorrow's matches first. Pardon me. Up first, we have McDonald versus Sinner, and Sinner is quite favored in this at minus 1,600 versus McDonald's plus 860. Sinner beat the Spanish Carvalles Baena 3 straight sets, and McDonald also beat, and I'm going to butcher the name here, Basil Shalabi. You can say it better, the Georgian man, in 3 straight sets. So both came out pretty on top in both of their matches, but I think Sinner is just much more of the favorite here, much more of an experienced tennis player, actually.
Yeah, even at such a young age, I feel like he's, just one of those young guns that can make it deep into a Grand Slam. So I think I'd take him for this one too.
Yeah, the odds speak for themselves in that match. All right, up next we have Kekmanovic taking Medvedev on. This is, I think, going to be a really exciting match. Number 2, Medvedev is at minus 156, and Kekmanovic is at plus 130. Medvedev took out Dare in 3 straight sets, and Kekmanovic was playing against Buklik, who he actually was down in the first set and then came back to win the next 3. So bit of a tougher match, arguably a bit more tired after that. Medvedev also being number 2 right now. I think he's the favorite. I think that's who you go for. I could see him also winning in 3 straight sets for this one. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'd definitely go with Medvedev here. His movement, like we talked about, has looked really good. I feel like this is kind of his best chance to get as far as he can into this tournament before he runs into any of the big guys. So yeah, I think taking Medvedev here is your safe bet.
Yep. And finally, we have Goffin taking on Hurkacz. Goffin beat Tiafoe, which, I don't know, it could have been a bit of an upset. We're not really sure. That one was a really tough match in the 3rd round. After losing the first set, he came back, battled in the second. They went to 8 tie breaks, and then he won the 3rd and 4th set. That was a really tough match for both of them. But it was Goffin who came out through the other side, and Hurkacz beat the Italian Cecchinato in 3 straight as well. Again, one of those matchups where, is that pass game going to, bring out like the exhaust basically, because he had to go in a couple more sets, Goffin had a much bigger fight. I don't know. Are we going to see that come through?
I think Herbert Hurkacz is one of those guys who can go up against even one of the top guys, and I feel like I'm backing him more. He's been a little bit more consistent lately compared to Goffin. Goffin's still kind of returning and trying to get more matches under his belt. And like you said, he had a huge one against Tiafoe. And like Tiafoe's not an easy player to play against.
Yeah.
And so I think he's going to find that Hurkacz is an even harder player to play against. So I think I'll back the minus 130 bet here.
Yeah, so you can get Goffin at plus 108 and Hurkacz at minus 30 for this match.
Yeah, and that brings us to the end of today's edition of Game Set Bet. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week when we're going to get past more of the rounds. We're getting kind of closer to quarters.
Yeah.